Welcome to the 10-Minute Treasurer. My name is Jeff Pospisil. Over the last summer, my wife and we've been focused on estate planning, and maybe we're starting to feel older now that we have a senior in high school, but that's been our focus. So we set up our will. We're really happy with how we have our will set up. But one of the things that was lurking in the back of my mind was, okay, I got my will set up, but I also know that I set up beneficiaries for my retirement account, for my life insurance, and how do those play together? So that was the question I had. And once I found out the answer, I figured I'd share it with you. Part of the reason I share it with you is because setting up your beneficiaries, even if you don't set up a will, that would be at least one positive step towards doing your estate planning. And it's super quick and easy, and most of us do it without even thinking. So with that question, which one takes priority, the beneficiaries of those account or the will? It's always the beneficiaries. It's the beneficiaries will actually go around all your estate. Your will determines how your estate is split up, but the beneficiaries of those accounts can avoid it even going to your estate and going directly to where you wanted it to go. So that's the thing to keep in mind. When you're doing your estate planning, you really need to get a good inventory of what your assets are and at least a good general idea because different assets are going to be transferred in different ways. So for me, when I was doing my own planning, I've split up my assets into six major categories. So first of all was our house. That's our biggest asset. We also have a couple of vehicles, and we have then our bank accounts, which not only includes my checking and my savings, but it also includes my unrestricted investment accounts. So we do have restricted investments. That's our retirement accounts primarily. That's IRAs. That's our United Methodist retirement account. If you have a pension, I would include that in that category as well. Then there's life insurance. That's its own category. And then there is your other stuff. And for me, I don't collect anything else. If I did collect stuff of value, besides money in my retirement account, I would probably have another category. But this one includes all my clothes and books and tools and kitchenware and all that other kind of stuff, furniture, stuff that has very limited value. So when you're thinking about it, let's start with the retirement account. The retirement account, you always want to list your beneficiaries. You always want to list your beneficiaries. So like if it's a pension account too, you might not have anybody that receives any benefit of it from it if you don't list your beneficiary. Retirement accounts, if you don't have beneficiaries and it's liquidated and put into your state, it's cashed out, there's going to be some negative tax ramifications to that versus if you list beneficiaries, it transfers to those beneficiaries, and then there's ways that they can control kind of the effect of the taxes there. So that's something to think about. For your miscellaneous stuff, some of the stuff, if you see the end coming, you might want to transfer it while you're living. I mean, I think that's a good thing to do. That way you can see people's joy about receiving something. Otherwise, this is something mainly that you're going to want your will to take care of. So whatever you plan in your will. There are these other assets, your banking accounts, your your vehicles, your house, that it might make sense to have a co-owner to this. So for me and my wife, we are co-owners to all these things. So we both signers on our accounts. We're both on the vehicle titles. We're both on the house deed. So that way, when I pass, she's already an owner, plus she's listed in the will as well as receiving my share as well. So you want to think through those survivor benefits of ownership. So that's a good thing to think about. So if, let's say you outlive your spouse and you see the end coming as well, you might want to have a kid on as a joint signer for a checking account, to be able to help facilitate that, or of the house if you know you want to pass the house on to them. The last one is the life insurance. And the life insurance, um, I've talked to some people. I want mine to be actually distributed to the beneficiaries, and that's how I want to do it. But other people, they might want it to be paid out through the will, and either way is fine. I just think it'll be quicker if I just list the beneficiaries right in my life insurance, and then it's paid out to them, and it doesn't have to go through any of that settling of my estate. I want to look at setting up your beneficiaries because it's super easy to set those up. A will can be kind of intimidating, um, but you can at least take a good step by setting up your beneficiaries because a lot of our assets are going to be involved in that. So I just took a snapshot of my own beneficiaries from my retirement as well as from my life insurance. So this one here, this New York Life one, that is a screenshot. I just actually set that up not that long ago. So my wife is my primary beneficiary. So if I die and my wife is still living, all of my life insurance money goes to her. If um, if she's dead when I pass, then it's distributed a little differently. I want 10% of it to go to our churches, and then I want the remaining 90% to go to our three kids equally. So, and I list my sister as the custodian of that, so that way she's going to manage it because my kids are still under the age of 18. So that's how I set it up. But that, again, that was super easy. All I had to do was log in and set it up. And I did something very similar with my retirement. I logged into Benefits Access, which is through Westpath, and I was able to set it up exactly how I wanted, very similar to this as well. So here's a picture of me and my family. So I have a wife and I have three kids. And what you want to think about is how, again, you want to transfer your things. You want to make a plan for that. So first of all, if I die, I want everything to go to my wife. But if she dies, I want everything to come to me. But if we both die, that's a different scenario. So now imagine that it's several years in the future and I'm redoing my estate planning, or updating my estate planning because I have grown kids. And so maybe for Gus, I want to leave him my house because he's living with me and he's helping me out. So I may want to not only list him as a co-owner, but I may also want to have it in the will as well. So that way I make sure that he receives that house. And then my vehicle, maybe Ella drives me around a lot. So either I gift her the vehicle or I have her as a co-owner, and also listed in the will. And then there's my miscellaneous stuff. And the only things I have of value maybe is my YouTube channel and my coffee maker and my hat. So either I could just gift those right away while I'm still living, or I could list them in my will. And then I need to set up my beneficiaries for my retirement account, and I'll set it up one third, one third, one third. And then my beneficiaries for my life insurance, if I have life insurance at the time, it probably won't be necessary, but I would set that up one third, one third, one third. And then my investments and my bank accounts. This is where I'd want to maybe I decide to set that up through my will, and I just give Gus a smaller share because he's getting a house, and then Ella would get a slightly larger share because she's getting the minivan, and then Liam might get the lion's share because he didn't get any large assets. So that at least is the way I was thinking through it. So I have a few of them here that I just tried to gift while I was still living. These ones I set up my beneficiaries, and this one for sure I want to go through my estate. So at least I was planning for how all my assets were going to be dispersed. All right. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some ability to guide people as they're going through this, whether you're going through this or whether you're guiding your people in your church through this. It's an important thing to do to figure out how to end well, how to make this transition, especially for your assets, where they're going to go, how to make that as smooth as possible. All right. God bless you.